How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. I way overcomplicated this whole
It's okay.
thing.
It's okay. This is showbiz. This is what I tell people. This is always what happens. Nothing happens the way you want it to. That's all. That's the best way to put it. Nothing happens the way you want it to. But you know this. You've been in it. You've done it. You've lived it.
Ish, yeah.
Yeah. You lived it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, Sazzy Boatright, I know who you are. But why don't you give people a crackerjack version of who Sazzy Boatright is?
Okay. Sazzy Boatright is an affable queer woman, who is also a wrestler, sort of. And, I've been wrestling for about a year now.
Awesome.
Sorry, I'm also putting in my headphones.
Oh, you're cool. You're cool.
Getting real technical.
Yeah.
I don't even...
You know what you're doing. There you go. Okay. You freeze for a second. You might have moved around way too much. There you go.
Yep, I moved way too fast. All
right.
Yeah, so...
Simmer down. All right, cool.
I've been wrestling for about a year out of Brooklyn, and I used to do a lot of comedy, actually. I have, like, a comedy background, and I'm also an actor and a person who lives in New York City.
A person that lives in New York City. I love it. Yeah. I love it. You know, that was a great crackerjack version of you. I love it. That was awesome. So you've been doing wrestling for a year. Like, what made you jump into wrestling? Like, wow, what a place to be. Like, what made you jump there?
Like masochism, I guess, or something. I really have wanted to be a wrestler for a long time, and I think it started with me, like, I was like, I want to be a wrestler, but instead I'm going to do comedy, and I'm going to do comedy about wrestling, and I'm going to do sketch comedy that's, like, in the format of a wrestling show, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, here comes my dog. Okay. There's my dog.
Puppy. Hi, puppy.
He's going to be here for...
Yeah, no worries. We're a dog-friendly house, so yes. The Madman house is a dog-friendly house. Cool. Aw, you give love. Aw.
Cool.
Puppy love. I love it. All right. So, you jumped into wrestling.
He's a good boy.
And you thought you want to do comedy about wrestling. And why not? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's kind of just been like a really convoluted journey towards being a pro wrestler, but ultimately, it's sort of like I was doing a lot of things over the course of, like, many, many years that ultimately served my in-ring persona and abilities. So, it's like maybe to the layperson who doesn't know Sazzy, like, it looks like I'm having, like, another kind of, like, mid-30s crisis of personality or something. But, if you've known me all this time, you'll know that it's, like, a very natural progression from what
I have noticed this, okay? And I have actually been following you for quite some time, and you don't
really?
No stockish following, so I just wanted to put that out there. I'm not stalking you. I've noticed your career. I've noticed you growing. I've noticed, like, the shows you've been in and stuff like that. And you're absolutely, I'm going to stroke your ego. You're absolutely amazing. You have emerged like no other. Yeah. Kudos.
Wow, thank you.
You are growing into the awesomeness that you are, you're growing. And I'm giving you this a compliment because not enough people get compliments anymore, you know. And this is me being genuine and cool because I too am growing into myself. I haven't always been the madman, you know. I've always been that, you know, artist, the guy sitting it. You know, I've always been sitting on the edge of everything and not getting into anything. And now I'm getting into movies, filming them, making them, writing them, animation, you name it. That's why they call me the madman, because I'm involved in so many craziness and it's so much fun. And people like you, I like to reach out to because I love your spirit and I love the direction you're going. And I love that you're being you and nobody else. That's awesome. You know, that's, yeah.
Man, thank you. I really appreciate that. Cause like, you know, it can be disheartening sometimes to like, you know,
yeah.
Like maybe you relate, like you wake up some days and you're like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, I look at myself in the mirror each and every day, and I'm 46, young lady, so I'm like, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with myself? But then I look at myself and go, damn it, I've come a long way. So you know, it's you know, a catch-22 here, and you know that the best thing about the reason why I created the show is to bring people like you on because why? Because I want to show people that you are people too. We are people. Yeah. We are just people working and making money just like everybody else. So, you know, you got if you don't like it, I'm sorry. You know, I really don't care. But this is what we do for a living.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. If you don't like it, fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you.
Teach.
But you know what? The funniest thing is the people that's right. But the people that follow me here, the awesomeness part, the people that follow me here and the people that watch me are genuine, awesome people. And most of them I'm working with here in the future, as well as that's why I reached out to you, because I would love to work with you in the future. I have a bunch of movies I'm coming out with, and don't worry, I'm going to be SAG. So just want to put that out there.
That's amazing.
Everyone's like, I
can't do any non-union anymore. I'm sad. So. Sorry, you'll have to talk to my agent about it.
Yeah, exactly. You know why I'm saying that. So.
Yeah, I know it's a problem.
I know it's an addiction. I mean, it's a what? But no. So I mean, what made you want to be an actress? Like what drove you to become do all these amazing shows that you got on? Wow, you know, congrats. You know.
Oh.
What made you?
Thanks.
What made you?
Yeah. Certainly, what did make me? Sorry, I was just plugging in my phone.
You're fine.
Technology. But
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, no worries. It's all right. Technical difficulty, always. It's okay.
All right, cool. I
feel
like I'm.
You're right. You're right there. You're right there. I see your face. You're just. You know, the hours last of time. So are the days of our lives. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Please don't sue me for copyright. Yeah. All right. So as Sazzy turns in the hourglass, I want to give you a little breakdown of what she's done. She's done Blue Bloods. She's done Orange is the New Black. And she just popped off because she had a little technical difficulty. Sazzy's done so many different shows. Blue Bloods, Orange is the New Black. I mean, she's done comedy. She's done a lot of different things. So, okay. Got you. Boom. Back on. Whoa. See?
So I'm so...
When I used the McDonald's Wi-Fi. Yep.
How did you know I was at McDonald's?
That was awesome. I love that.
No.
I'm gonna write that on I'm gonna make a T-shirt of that just because that happened. When I use the McDonald's Wi-Fi, and I'm gonna make a spinning emoji. Yes. All right. We got it. Thank you. That's gonna be a shirt that's gonna show up here. So don't worry. And then the pretty puppy. So yay. So yeah. when did you want to become an actress? When did you want to,
I think that was the first and only thing that I ever wanted to be. I think I was like a really artistically inclined kid, like a lot of us, like nerdy weirdo people. And, I think like that manifested for me as like wanting to act just because I liked escaping into characters and worlds and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And, it was a long process to get there because I didn't actually go to acting school until later. I went to art school as a kid. And that's what brought me to New York initially, was going to art school. And then, let's see, probably like a few years after I graduated from art school, I finally was like, I think I'm going to like try doing it, And so I really had to start from scratch. And, let's see, I don't know. I auditioned for like a film that a friend was making, and I was like, yes, I'm going to get this film and it's going to be awesome. And then like, I didn't end up getting cast because I wasn't a very good actor at the time. And, I was just like, oh my God, this is so hard. And that was like 2010 or something. And then, as time went on, I did all the things. I took classes. I like did extra work. I interned at casting offices. I like did all the things that like actors do. Yeah. And I think it was 2016 I booked my first like speaking role on a TV show. Okay. And that was through a talent manager whose associate brought me onto brought me into the management company as a client. He was a guy I knew from my art school, from Pratt. And we had like partied together during orientation week, and then we like never talked to each other again. And then I saw him like, what was it, like over 10 years later, and he's like, oh, I see that you've been doing comedy and like whatever, do you want to come in and meet my boss and like maybe go on some auditions? And I'm like, yes,
please.
So that's how that started. So it was kind of like a long time in the making.
Yeah. So I mean, so you got the auditions. I mean, so I'm going to say, did you want to give up? I mean, did you want to give up when you didn't get that part with your friend's show? Were you thinking about just giving up?
Yes, I think about it all the time. I think about it every time I get an audition. I'm like, this is going to be the last one I do. This is going to be the last one. But, it's kind of like all auditions are an opportunity to like play a part for like a very brief moment, right? Like you get to kind of like do your thing and whatever, do free labor, great, whatever. Right. I'm great at that because I'm an actor. But yeah, so like, like being able to kind of stay creative in that way, and like in crafting an audition sort of, and like going through that process really does inform my wrestling career. And like all of that sort of character work and stage work and camera work has all sort of come to a head, and like has helped me form some semblance of something so far. So like at this point, I hesitate to say it because in case I don't know who's on here, but
don't worry.
I don't want anybody to. If my mom's on here, she's gonna be like, "Well, I can't." But I think like most of the things I do now are in service to my wrestling career. Yeah. So like, I still audition and stuff pretty regularly, but at the end of the day, like my question is always like, is this going to get me closer to like my goal of being a professional wrestler as a job? Okay. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, but I'm not going to say like, if I book a series regular on something that I'm not going to like go do that. But right now it's kind of like wrestling is like the lifeline for me right now, creatively.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you say that when you talked about your rise to where you are now. I did the same thing. I went to art school. I was illustration, graphic design with a minor in industrial design. I was supposed to go to theater school, but I passed it up and ended up becoming, an illustrator. And I was like, dude, I can really do this acting because I got a scholarship for it. So why didn't I go? I don't know why I didn't, but I did because, I wasn't ready for it yet. And I did the same thing. I went the route. I went, the path and did all the, illustration for everybody, worked for Disney, did all the crazy stuff, us artists do. And then I ended up right here on this show, talking to you. I mean, and I've done, I've been in movies as background people. I've done special reports for news media. I mean, I've done all that. And now it's like, I want to do some fun shit. I want to make some fun. And that's when I started saying, you know what? If I want to make it, I need to write it. And if I want to animate it, I got to do it myself. So that's when I started saying, all holds bar, I'm going broke. When was that moment when you said, all holds bar, I'm going broke, I'm going to go do wrestling?
That was a little over a year ago. Now, I was training briefly at another place back in 2018 because I was like, I'm gonna wrestle a little bit and put it as a skill on my acting resume. I was kind of very non-committal and actressy about it.
Right.
And so that didn't last very long, but it gave me some basics to work with.
Yeah.
And then I was in a job, I had kind of sworn off wrestling and acting and all creative endeavors. I'm also, my day job is in the fitness industry. I'm a trainer.
Nice.
So
Yeah. I'm coming to New York, and you're gonna whoop me into shape. I joined the Y. I joined the Y a few weeks ago, and I started going just shooting hoops and stuff like that. Kind of working my way up into this. So, because since I'm going to be touring, I got to get in shape. So, I mean,
yeah.
I have a really nice dad bod though. So, I mean,
listen, you got it. The dad bod is in.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, but yeah, so I was kind of really wrapped up in day job stuff, and that sort of imploded post-pandemic start, and that was early 2021, and I sort of had a falling out with that job, and realized that I really hadn't been pursuing anything that I wanted to be pursuing. And I think a lot of people had some sort of personal reckoning during the pandemic, right? Because mortality and whatnot. But same with me. And I had learned through a friend about a wrestling school that opened in Brooklyn, and it had just been in the back of my mind, and that the job I used to work at was in the same neighborhood as the school. So I walked out of the exit interview for that job and walked right into the school, within the same hour. And I was just I was really emotional because I was just I want to be a wrestler, and MB Young was there, and he was like, who are you? Who are you? Yeah, so that's how that all started, was just kind of me finally I think I could attribute it to the pandemic, really.
Yeah.
That was really the impetus, I think.
Yeah. I think I did the same thing. I started getting, since I couldn't find any actors, I started building them. It's called puppets.
Yes.
And, they work for peanuts or, stitches, and so it's a lot easier that way. And I was like, you know what? I want to do something. again, immortality. I want to do something with my life. I want to go forward. I'm tired of sitting stagnant. And I think a lot of us did this, I mean, so that was your pandemic moment when you said, that's it, I want to do this, right?
Yeah. I'd say so.
So what did you do yourself in the lockdown? I mean, did you pick up a new trade, or did you start, knitting, or crochet?
Well, yeah, I picked knitting back. I pick up knitting and I put it down a lot, but I put it down a lot. But I've been in New York longer than I've been anywhere else, and I ended up relocating to upstate New York, where my
someone's like, yay.
I hear that. I hear the pain in the background. But so I ended up living with my sister and my brother-in-law for 2 months up in the woods, which sounds like it would be nice, but it was kind of like an art house horror flick, we were all just slowly losing our minds and just really kind of wearing each other down psychologically. But what was I doing out there? I was running a lot, which was kind of nice, and I was working out with logs and stacking logs. It was a lot of log play.
That's a good idea. I mean,
yeah, I didn't really want to be, but that was one of the main chores was stacking logs upstate. So stacking and cutting them. So I got my lumberjillness on, and then
nice.
I also let's see, I watched a ton of both my sister and my brother-in-law are filmmakers, so we watched really a critically acclaimed film basically every night. So I ended up watching a ton of movies and really kind of getting into it gave me time to really get into stuff that I liked and that I didn't like, to really figure that out.
Yeah.
And and watch Tiger King
what do you like? What do you like and don't like? I'm gonna ask that. What's your genre?
I think so the genre is there is no genre. No specific genre. I watched a lot of really good documentaries with them. One of which really stood out to me was called The Raft. I think we watched a lot of social experiment films.
Okay.
The Raft was a social experiment back in the 80s, where it was a group of men and women got on this self-sufficient raft and set out to sea with this anthropologist who ended up being a nutcase and kind of a megalomaniac. Narcissist person.
Sounds like a real horror story.
But, yeah. But what they did was they had tons of footage from when they were on the raft, and a lot of the people were still alive that were on the raft. And then what they did was they rebuilt the raft itself inside of a soundstage. And they interviewed the original participants on the raft. They would recreate kind of scenes on the raft with the people involved. And I don't know why that's something that always really interested me, was kind of that direct one-to-one translation of a real event into a narrative story, I guess.
Right. Okay.
So that's the kind of stuff that really interests me. I'm not really sure how it ties into me as a wrestler yet, or as an artist, but I think there's something really interesting about watching humans in that way.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. Most definitely. It's funny because I've kind of gotten into documentaries a lot myself, and because I'm actually going to be filming a mockumentary here soon. Oh, nice. Actually, a documentary mockumentary. It's about a real life band, but the story is unbelievable. So, and
that's awesome.
If you want to check the band out, they're called Big Gorgeous, and they're and it's funny because Big Gorgeous, Young Potato was once a wrestler also. So, and they're actually, his name is Young Potato. So, but I don't think that was his wrestling name. But yeah, a big, gorgeous documentary is going to be quite interesting. And, seeing the human condition of everything and seeing how people, do interviews and stuff like that, it makes me, it's quite interesting. I mean, watching how people respond to things. And then I watched Rob Reiner's Spinal Tap. And that made me want to do it even more. And then I heard he's coming out with another Spinal Tap this year, or not this year, but working on it right now. And it's when they're older. So it's going to be quite interesting. So I was like super excited when I heard that, because I was talking to someone a couple weekends ago, and he goes, "You remind me of Rob Reiner." And then because you're going to do this mockumentary, and then I hear he's coming out with that, and I'm like, is the universe like moving in a certain way, and the balls and the globe, and it's all connected to where I am, and my name is Rob, actually. So
there you go.
I mean, there's something here, so
right.
So I mean, it's metaphorically. So
oh yeah. I think I'm really into stuff like that. Like, I really do think that there's something to be said for, like, the way things kind of come in and out of your orbit. That was something that, like, kind of has a lot to do with my wrestling career as well, or, like, the lead up to it. Was kind of just, like, meeting certain people, or, like, being in the presence of certain people or projects that were kind of like that kind of alluded to me eventually becoming a wrestler. But I
love it.
I think it's fate. It
is. Who knows? I might have I might need a wrestler in my mockumentary to take out someone. So
okay, cool. Sounds like you have it all written out already.
I'm not saying anybody in particular, but I mean,
hey, if it's union, then you can hire me. But if it's not union, then we have to talk to my agents.
My God! No, I'm gonna name drop. But it was funny. I was with Keith Coogan 2 weekends ago, and that was the first words that came out of his mouth, and I'm like, "What do you think I am, an animal?" and he died laughing. If you know who Keith Coogan is, yes, no, maybe.
I don't think I know. Wait, no, I don't know who that is.
Adventures in Babysitting. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Oh, okay, right on. Yeah, Adventures in Babysitting was like one of my favorite movies growing up.
Yes.
Yeah,
the dishes
on.
are done, man. From Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Yes.
Right on.
So, he asked me already. It was funny. He just asked me that question. I'm like, do you think I'm an animal? I'm not going to. No. It's going to. I'm going to be union. Don't worry, You can't shit that money, so.
No, you cannot.
No, just to let you know, if you want to be an actor, it costs you a lot to be in the union, so.
Yes, it does.
Even when you work at Disney, it costs you a lot to work in the union, and you're only making $5.95 an hour. You're welcome, kids. I know, right? I know. I learned that in, 1997. I learned the hard way when I was, in my 20s, young, dumb, and had no idea what I was doing. So, yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, I mean, wrestling. So, like, do you have any experience, like any life thoughts for young actresses or actors or whoever that want to get into the field? I mean, because you've done some really great shows here. I mean, do you have any sound advice for them? Any sound advice? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I think there was one time that I think this has been helpful to me, sort of, but there was one time when a British actress whose name completely escapes me, but I met her at BAM and she was doing a stage play there that was being directed by Alan Rickman. So at that time I was like, this woman has an amazing career, you know, like I, you know, would love to aspire to be something like this, you know?
Okay.
And I remember her saying, say yes to everything. And I think that is still true, but I think there's a caveat because I do think that like actors and actresses get taken advantage of a lot, especially financially, but also like with their labor and time and, you know, promises of certain things. And I do think that there is a way to be strategic about spending your money as an actor who's like investing in yourself and working towards something. And I think it's like just being very, very, just having really clear goals about like who you want to meet, where you want to be. And, you know, I do think saying yes to sometimes to like little projects that don't pay or, you know, a comedy class or, you know, things that push you outside of your comfort zone, I think are always really constructive. But I think that it's really hard to like to have self-respect. Like keep your dignity intact as like a young actor. Because everybody makes you feel kind of worthless. But that's the thing is like, there is nobody, every actor is inherently their own, you know, nobody's like you. Right. So, that inherently is like a valuable asset. It's like your unique authenticity. So, I guess that would be it. Like say yes to everything, but like, don't say yes to everything. Like pretty much so like, don't do it.
So what are you really trying to say now?
Say, get that money.
Get that money.
Get out. Not like me. That's not what I do.
Oh my God. No, don't admit to that. No, you've done it, you know. Everyone asks, do you get paid to do this show? And I said, no, I don't. Well, yes, I do. I actually get paid in rum, but that's all I get paid in. So, I mean, yeah, I do kind of get paid in this, but not really, you know, it's just, So, but, yes and no, it's like your answer. Yes, I do, but no, I don't. So, this is my own money, my own time, my own everything. So, yeah, that's how it works. And that's how it works for being an actor, an actress, and everything else. You pretty much put your own time and effort into things, and sometimes it always don't pays out, but it's okay, you know? If you love what you're doing, then keep on doing it. And I'm going to ask you, have you done theater yet? Have you know, being in New York and everything, I mean, have you done theater?
Yeah. I haven't. It's funny because my partner's in the theater world. She's a designer for theater. Okay. And that's just like a different beast entirely because, you know, once you've been going out for film and TV, it's a different skill set, you know, than being in the theater. And like, I would, as much as I would love to do it, I think it's really something that like is reserved for people who like get MFAs in the field, you know? I mean, like, there's some wiggle room. There are some artistic directors who like casting people who haven't been through like the MFA machine, but I've auditioned for like a handful of plays through my agency, but like I never ended up booking anything. Okay. I think like a lot of stuff, it's a lot of nepotism, but I do think that that having a degree in theater kind of like puts you above other applicants and actors.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, if you have the bug, you have the bug, honestly. I mean, did you do did you do theater growing up? Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it started, Okay.
So what was one of your favorite roles, or what was one of your favorite plays that you did?
Like when I was younger, like when I was in high school, there was this play called the musical. Oh God, what was it? The Musical Comedy Murders of 1940. That was the name of the play. And I played like this drunken. As an 18-year-old, I played this like drunken 50-something-year-old like lyricist. I think she was. Okay. And I was probably terrible, but it was really fun. I was like all over the place. I was chaotic.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, one of my first theater performances was in Charlotte's Web. I was the State Fair pig. And
gosh.
Yes, that was one of mine. And I was 18 years old. And so, I could go buy cigarettes, and I bought a cigar. And I had a cigar in the show for the State Fair pig. And I was the most pompous pig ever. And let's just say people talked about that part more than they talked about the whole rest of the show. So I was like, I nailed it. And at the casting party, I lit that cigar up and said, there you go.
Really showed them.
You give me the smallest part and I make it huge, so.
There are no small parts.
There's no small parts, only small people. And they don't like being called small people. So, I know. But, it's funny because my son is now, he's caught the theater bug and he loves it. His very first performance was Tiny Tim in The Christmas Carol. And then he rose up from there and did Kinky Boots for his next one. And he was the young Lola. I know.
Wow.
So he caught the bug. I mean, he caught the theater bug, and he's like blowing people out of the water. So, it's amazing. And I encourage him I'm not forcing him to do it. He wanted to do it, so go forth and conquer. Is your future look like having kids in the future, or just are you going to be just a fur mom, or? What are you looking at?
That's a good question. I think that fur babies are like the babies that we're going to have right now. We're in New York City, and it's like such a luxury to have a family here.
Yeah, so it is.
There would probably be like a lot of steps that we'd have to take before doing that. And two women can't make a baby together. I don't know if you knew.
I did know that, but it's called fostering, and I was a foster parent as well as.
I want to do that. I want to do that. Good for you. That's
just
amazing.
Wanted to put that out there. Yeah, we were foster parents, and we adopted. So yeah, I mean, because there's a lot of kids out there that need love and hugs, and people to love them. That's it. People to love them, care about them, and push them, and say. And if they fall down, you pick them back up and say, hey, don't do that again. So
that's being a good parent.
That's
don't
right.
Do that again.
Don't do that again. It's going to hurt. So just let you know.
FYI.
FYI, but and then they do it again, and they're like, oh, guess what? I told you. So no, I'm not that bad of a parent. But no, it's so I mean, New York. I mean, where are you originally from? I'm curious.
I am originally from the Midwest.
You are not. What part?
I am. I was born in Indiana.
Indiana. No way. That's
Is that
funny.
Where you are?
No, I'm in Iowa. So hey, close enough. Like 2 states over. Or 2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a Midwest. I'm actually originally from Wisconsin myself. I even say Wisconsin, the right way. So
I can hear it. Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah. Indiana. Wow. Yeah, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yes.
The home state of Garfield. Yes.
Yes, the home state of Garfield. Yes, thank you. And the home state of Demon Rum, too. Just to let you know. But, yeah. Just, you like how I slide that sucker in? It's like, it just went in. But, yeah, so Indiana, wow. What, so, wow, like a small town, Fort Wayne, or, where were you?
Fort Wayne I was in Wayne County, but
Wayne County, okay.
Not far from. I was like right on the eastern border of Indiana, so like Paris, Ohio, was like 5 minutes from us.
Okay, yeah, I know the area. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've been to Indiana a few times, so yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah. I used to live out in my car for a while, so. I just traveled around. Yeah. I lived in a big guy in a little Geo Metro. Try to fit that one on. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, I was amazed too. So I was like, damn.
Really making this work.
I know, I'm really making this work. And I was in my 20s, thank God. And that's probably why I have back issues in my 40s. So, but yeah. Note to self, kids. Don't F with yourself when you're young. So it's going to come back and haunt you when you're old. So.
Yeah. I mean, being a wrestler is just as good as living in your car, so that's, yes.
Yes. Thank you. So Indiana, I mean, so small class, big class graduating, or was it
I was there,
a small town?
It was a really small town. It was like, it had like weird claims to fame. Like the hospital where I was born was also where Jim Jones worked as like an orderly for a number of years. Yeah, and he was like lived in my hometown. And then I don't know. It's also like it's where Tom Raper the unfortunately named Tom Raper RV is like a giant RV depot.
Okay.
That's what we're usually known for, being the home of Tom Raper RV. But yeah, so that was where I grew up in my childhood. And then when I was like 10 or 11, we moved to Central Ohio.
Okay.
And I was in Ohio until I came to New York. But I've been in New York longer than I've been in either of those places. Yeah.
Okay.
But I still consider myself a Midwesterner through and through.
Yeah.
And people always ask me, they're like, "You're not from New York." And I'm like, I've been here for 16 years. Shut up.
Shut up already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I stand out in other states too, so don't feel bad. I mean, they hear me talk and they're like, "Yeah, you're a Midwesterner," and I'm like, "What gave it away?" Well, you said Wisconsin, so
right. And you're probably wearing cargo shorts in the wintertime, right? Like that's what you do too.
No, I actually dress appropriately for the wintertime, so.
Oh, okay. So that's just like a Michigan thing, probably.
No. I see people in shorts around here during the wintertime, and I'm like, what the heck? And I knew a kid when I lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that used to walk in sandals and I used to call him Jesus all the time because I'm like, you walk in sandals in snow and everything. I mean, and he had no socks on. I'm like, what the heck, man? You're going to die, toes are going to fall off. No, they're not. It's fine. I'm like, well, come on, really? You're making me look
crazy.
Bad. I know. You're making me look bad. So I mean, it's funny. Like when people claim to be from Midwest, I love it because it's a small world. I mean, it is really a small world from where we all came from, and and I mean. What's your goal? What's your ultimate goal when it really comes down to it? What do you want to achieve? I mean, is there something you want to achieve that you haven't yet? Or is there something you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah, I want to be a professional wrestler. What am I doing?
I want to be a wrestler.
Yeah. But truly, I think that probably my main goal right now is to work up to being on a televised promotion, whether that's Impact or AEW or MLW. Probably not WWE. I got to be honest. Like, they kind of freak me out. So I'm not 19, so like they're not gonna want me.
No. Well, you don't want to go WWE. They don't seem too nice anymore. I mean, actually, they weren't nice at all. I'll be honest with you, but that's besides the point. So I mean, what were some of your favorite wrestlers growing up? I want to hear this. Because you probably watched wrestling when you were growing up, right?
I watched wrestling. Go ahead.
You didn't get the 80s love that I did of wrestling, but you probably saw the aftermath of those. Like Hacksaw Jim Duggan was one of my favorites. Rowdy Piper, Jericho. Hulk Hogan when he was, Sergeant Slaughter. Like, that's my top 5 right there. So what is your top 5?
I think it was like, it was all WWE, and it was like 2000.
Yeah.
I was watching like early aughts WWE. So it was like China.
Okay.
It was Booker T, Goldberg. Like Mick Foley, who I still adore to this day. And then, who doesn't? He's such a fucking cool dude.
He is. I know. I'm looking forward. I'm actually going to the Minneapolis Comic-Con, and he's supposed to be there. So I'm looking forward to seeing him there. So, yeah. And just say, hey,
Yeah. I just want to ask him about what it feels like to have your tooth shoved through your nose, your nasal passage. How does that happen? Anyways, that'll be the first thing we talk about when we meet.
Right.
How he got his tooth in his nose.
Right.
But yeah, it was kind of like I think that's what I was watching at that time. It was kind of like pretty homogenous. Not a lot of variety, but I really loved Rey Mysterio and Booker T and China because they seemed so different at the time. They were like, they stood out so much against like the white male, greasy, bald and or blonde,
right.
But yeah, so that's what I watched growing up.
Nice.
Yeah.
You did. I got to enjoy it on Saturday night. You probably would do Raw, right? You were a Raw fan. You still watch Raw a lot on TBS.
I occasionally catch it. My friend.
Yeah.
Well, I guess no, he's not on Raw anymore. I was gonna say my friend Drew Gulak's on Raw, but he's not on Raw anymore. Right?
Yeah.
He's on SmackDown.
He's on SmackDown now. Yeah.
Right. So that just goes to show you that I'm not watching.
See, I know a little bit about wrestling. I'm not a wrestling pro like some other people I know out there.
Oh, okay.
But I like I said, I'm an 80s, 90s child of wrestling. I mean, we used to watch it every Saturday night, and that was our thing. That was our go-to, watching Sergeant Slaughter and all those guys, and and Rowdy Piper, and now his daughter now is in the ring now, I think.
It's not his daughter. Ronda Rousey was like, he bestowed the name Rowdy on her, but she might as well be, but she's not. She's the former
well, they look
fighter.
very similar, so So I mean, it's awesome to see that. And then I have a cousin that's actually in professional wrestling in Milwaukee.
Cool.
He's been doing it for umpteen dozen years. So, and he's been doing it, and he loves it with a passion. And but he's getting older, and he's like, he literally raised his prices so they wouldn't bring him on as much. So he's
That's
like, you know,
what you gotta do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying his name so that they don't come back and go, oh, we know what you're doing here. So
yeah. I was gonna ask who it was.
I'll text. I'll call you and let you know exactly who it is. So. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Don't worry. This is behind the scenes stuff, you know. So
yeah, nobody gets to know.
Nobody gets to know who my cousin is in wrestling. So
it's like to be famous. It's
exactly.
Like knowing stuff that other people don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That's the fun part about being famous. Yeah, because you can't tell everybody everything. But, you know, you will eventually find out in the future. Who knows? He might come on. But, you know, who knows?
Cool.
Who knows? Yeah, but even like fans don't even know who he is. So, yeah, that's the coolest part about it. So,
right on.
Yeah, he's one of those, you know, macho libre type. So.
Oh, okay. So he's masked.
Yes, he's masked. Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes.
Right on.
Yes.
That narrows it down a little bit.
Yes, that's a nice way of, you know, putting it. I can't reveal his identity, so.
Of course.
You know, yes.
Of course. You do not want to do that. Don't
yes,
do
that. That's not cool. You know, you just don't. Like, you know, like when Jimmy Hart and the Hart Foundation, when they finally found out he was a fake, I mean, you know, and he was getting into fights. Like the first time I actually heard him get into a fight, I was in Wisconsin. He was at a bar in Wisconsin in La Crosse, and my grandpa has a scanner. And they said his name over the scanner and saying they were taking him to jail. And I was like, this is hilarious. I know this name. So.
Oh, man. That's rough.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, my grandpa has this police scanner and we heard your name. Ha ha.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I know that guy. And they're like, how do you know that guy? He's a wrestler. He's part of the Wrestling Federation. And he's going to jail.
Yeah. Not the first or the last one. So.
Oh, my gosh. So is there any shows or movies you want to be in the future? Is there anything like horror, rom-com, you name it?
That's a good question. It's hard to answer because it's so saturated right now.
Yeah.
I've been watching a show called Outer Range on Amazon Prime, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's like a sci-fi Western show, and it has to do with like time travel and it takes place in Wyoming, like on a ranch. And cool. I really love stuff like that, but it's very serious, you know, like it doesn't take itself too seriously, but like it's definitely a drama, you know?
Okay.
And I think that, I think I would love to be in some sort of comedic, sitcom or like a long form series that skews towards comedy, but I also think it would be really cool to be in like something like that's really kind of like sci-fi, but also like has some gravity to it. But that almost happened for me. I got a co-star on Nosferatu. Do you know that show?
Okay. Yes, I do. Yes. Yes,
yeah.
I love it. Yes. So you almost did that.
Yeah, I went up to Rhode Island. I shot for an episode, and then they ended up cutting me out. I mean, you can actually like see me in the shot, but I'm background at that point. But I was so excited because I was like, it's this new series, and like they're all these like crazy worlds that they're exploring and whatnot. But I don't even think the series survived. I don't remember hearing about it.
It didn't last that long. No, it didn't. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah.
It's because they didn't cast.
Well, Well, exactly. Well, and then, by the way, you're talking to the right person, because that's what I like to work with is, off the wall, like fun, off the wall comedy and horror and sci-fi and stuff. I mean, I have plenty of stuff I got coming in the works that I'm working on. So you're talking to the right person to be involved in. Yeah. So the world, by the way, the universe and the world just collided. So, I mean, here you go.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There you go. There you go. I mean, it happened. Just epiphany. It just, struck you in the mind. So, so it just happens. It normally does. You never know. And that's the reason why I've been jumping on the con circuit also, because what a better place to throw yourself out there and get people to know you and stuff like that than Comic-Cons. I mean, have you ever went to any of those yet, or as a spectator or as a star?
Oh God, I wish as a star. I mean, that's another like weird life goal I have, is to like be hired to do a Comic-Con, which a couple of my friends have already done as wrestlers. Like there was a Brooklyn Comic-Con where they set up a ring and had a wrestling show, but I didn't get to be part of it because I don't remember why. But I had Sazzy. A conflict. I had a bullshit conflict. I know.
Fuck the conflict. Come with me. Yeah, fuck the conflict. You're coming. You're coming with me and Wolfie and the crew, and we're gonna get you out there. We're gonna get you on the con. We're gonna get you.
Okay. Get me on the con circuit.
Yeah, we're gonna get you out there. We're gonna make you famous. The old Billy the Kid scene. I can make it famous. So
exactly. There you go.
There we go. So I usually will ask off the wall questions close to the end of my show, because why not? Because it's Tiki Tuesday, and we ask stupid things when we drink. So
Tiki
Tuesday. So, question 1: what's the strangest thing in your fridge right now?
Good question. Let's see.
Ooh, we actually get to see in the fridge. Oh no!
What is it? What could it be? Let's see. I have this giant thing of Better Than Bouillon.
Oh boy!
That's kind of weird.
That is kind of weird.
I've got some strawberries that are going bad. Lots of produce that's going bad. And of course, cigarettes. I have cigarettes in my fridge.
You put cigarettes in your.
They're my partners. They're not mine, but
I'm not going to judge you if you smoke. Don't worry. No.
No, it's not. They're not mine. They're not mine.
They're not mine. It's not mine. If my mom's watching, I don't smoke.
Officer, they're not mine.
Mom, I don't smoke. I promise.
I know, I'm 35 and I still really fear my mom finding out that I've smoked cigarettes.
I'm going to tell you something. I had the same problem, I had the same problem. Ooh, I noticed you have a tattoo right here.
Oh, I love your tattoo.
Yeah.
I have a rose.
I have Jack.
I love that. I love that movie.
Yes, I do too. Yes. And next I'm going to make a hot hat box and then make Sally, because my wife and I, Jack and Sally. So
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
And she's holding my head in the hat box because she's the hat box. Yeah.
Oh, man. I love that.
I know. Don't you like that? It's off the wall, but, and why not,
I got, I got this tattoo. It's
nice.
From a little buff boy. It's from this fucking dumbass sketch comedy show called I Think You Should Leave. But it's not, I mean, it kind of looks like a boxer, but if you look closely, it's actually a little boy in a goose suit.
Okay,
so,
nice.
It's like a total fucking inside joke, and it's so dumb. It's like the dumbest tattoo I have for sure.
I love dumb tattoos. That's the best because you probably got it when you didn't know what you were doing. So, I mean, I pierced my tongue. I had my tongue pierced, and I had my ears pierced, and I was drunk when I did it, and I had to go back home for Thanksgiving weekend to my mom and dad's house, and I literally took the tongue ring out because for fear they would freak out. So, thank God it sealed back up. I didn't have any, repercussions or anything because I had enough Jack in me to cure whatever was in there. So,
no.
Yes, that was in my 20s. That was in my 20s. Things we do in our 20s, for 100, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, truly, so dumb.
It was so dumb. Yes. It was. What was the dumbest thing you did in your 20s? That's the next question. What was the dumbest thing?
Everything. I think, I don't know. I think, I would do a dumb thing every day. This one summer, I worked at a hotel bar, and they were doing frozen drinks, and I was like, I'm thirsty. I'm going to have a frozen drink, I would be fucking hammered by the end of my shift. Like, I was so dumb. I was so dumb. And I was just like, why is my life horrible? I was like, why do I get these fights with my boyfriend I was dating a boy at the time. Oh, my boyfriend. Every night. Because I'm fucking hammered.
Oh, my God. And you were probably one of those, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry I got drunk. I'm so sorry.
The queen of them. The queen of sorry phone calls.
It happens. I wasn't one of those, unfortunately. But,
Good for you.
I wasn't. I did some pretty dumb things, but the sorry phone calls I did not do. Because most of the time I wasn't dating anyone until I really got serious. I turned 24 and realized, you know what? I need to go. Yeah, I need to be serious about life. So
yeah, I hate when that happens.
I know it sucked, and now I'm grown up and reverting back. So
right.
But I'm happily married after 21 years. I mean, hey, so
amazing.
I mean, I will not run. I can't ask for a better mate and whatever. I mean, she's my best friend. She's my cohort. She's my partner in crime. I mean, I would commit anything with her. So,
amazing.
So, yeah. So, how long have you and your significant other been together?
It has been 2 years, just about.
Congrats.
Thank you. And we have the 2 dogs together. And we live together in Brooklyn. And we've got a very, very cute lesbian life.
Why put a label on it? You love each other. Who cares? Who the fuck cares? I want to call myself a monkey some days, but people look at me and you're like, you're a human. I'm like, who the fuck cares? I'm going to be a monkey. It's like, you love each other. It doesn't matter. People put all these labels out there, and you know what? I'm a madman. That's my label. So
there you go.
So be it. And you're Sazzy. That's your label. There you go. See, it makes it so much better. It makes it so much lighter. It's like, fuck them all.
Yeah, fuck them all. Fuck
them all.
Keeping it light.
That's the moral of this show. Fuck them all. It's do what you want to do. Be who you want to be. Fuck them all. That bottom line. So, question number 3. So you live in New York now, and you've been there for 16 years. What's your favorite kind of pizza?
Oh, man. Oh, this is so hard.
I know. I had to get it. I had to hit you on this since you love pizza in New York. So,
I think the best pizza that I've had here. This is gonna be the wrong answer to whoever's listening. Like, okay. It's gonna be the wrong answer. But
okay.
Fuck it. It's Angelo's across the street. There's a place called Angelo's Pizzeria. It's right across the street from me on Flatbush Avenue over there.
Flatbush. Okay, I'll remember this Because when I come out there, I'm gonna try Angela's, and what's your favorite slice?
What is the one? I think I really like their white slice, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. And I'm not a big white slice person, but it's pretty good over there. If you're
pepperoni, sausage,
just vegetarian. I'm mostly vegetarian, but I started eating chicken because I wanted it.
It's okay though. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. I don't judge you, and it's good because sometimes we do. I mean, eating meat all the time is not really healthy for us, anyways. So
right.
Yeah, it isn't. I mean, there's other ways to find protein, so it's not a bad thing. But chicken is actually a good one. Fish, I have no problem. So yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. Uh-oh. So cool. No, you're fine. You're fine. I still see you. It's just spinning. I still hear you. I see. There you are. But yeah. Okay. So vegetarian. I love it. Lots of veggies. What kind of veggies do you have on it?
I think there's spinach on it and.
Ooh.
Oh, are we glitching out?
Artichoke? No, I'm still here. Hello, I'm still here. You still see me? I can see you. You see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, cool.
I think,
See, this is why I love New York, because the Wi-Fi sucks sometimes. Yes.
You totally cut out. I'm so sorry. I totally missed everything.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. I said, do you have artichokes on your pizza, spinach, you name it? And you know what? That's cool, Okay. You see me now?
Yeah, I can see you now. Okay, great. Okay.
So vegetarian pizza. That's cool. Yeah, we're holding strong. So next question. If you could make any movie into a musical, what would it be and why?
Into a musical?
Yes, into a musical. Any movie.
Shit. Any movie.
These are hard-hitting questions, I know.
What if I just said West Side Story? That's so stupid.
I love it. That was good.
Sorry, that was a really long, drawn-out shit. That was really funny.
I love it. Shit.
Let's see. Jaws
the musical. Okay, cool. Jaws the musical. You're the fourth person that has said that. So we are going to make sure that we find out if we can produce Jaws the musical, because this is an ongoing saga.
It's a lot of puppetry.
Yeah, Jaws the musical. Yes, and hey, God, I'm learning how to do that, and I have friends that do that too. Mm-hmm. So hey, we can do it. Anything's possible, if you just put your mind to it. Last but not least, do you believe that there's life out there beyond the stars and the other planets?
Yes.
Besides us.
For sure.
Yes. Cool. Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I mean, I believe it too. I believe there's other. We're naive if we don't believe. It's like, if we think we're the only ones out here, yeah, right. We don't even know what's under the water, for God's sakes. Mm-hmm. Beyond the stars. So. Awesome. This was so much fun. Did you have fun tonight?
Yes, I did. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yes. I mean, it was not like any other interview type show, was it? It wasn't. Because you got to talk about yourself, right?
No. I mean, yeah, no. I mean, it was definitely, you are and you own that.
Thank you. Because, that's what I want. I want people to talk about themselves and just, let people know that you're you, and that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. And, I can't wait to work with you here in the future. I mean, oh my gosh, you're an absolutely amazing actress, as well as soon to be professional wrestler, because we know this is going to happen, because I'm putting it out there into the universe. You are going to be a professional wrestler. So, and you're going to be hanging with the Madman, and why not? We're going to hang out sometime. I promise. Okay. Yes, I promise. And I'm definitely going to see forth to be in New York sometime soon. So I'll keep you posted on that also. So
please do.
Yes, I will. I will. Yes, most definitely. Well, I got other friends up there too, so we can, I can piece you together with all these great people I know that, work on sets and stuff like that up there. So, some awesome stuff. So, as I tell everybody, I'm not going nowhere, but except into your mind. And, Sazzy, she's not going nowhere except for into your mind also, because we're here for good, we're here for good. Yeah. Are you here for good? You're here for good? Sazzy says yes. So we're going to leave you. For some reason, you're freezing. So I was like, I'll say yes for you, because I know you probably you have a good heart. So I know it. So, all right. So it was awesome hanging out with you tonight. Looking forward to hanging with you here in the future. And you know what? Stay tuned, people, because there's a lot more coming out, a lot more fun. Sazzy's going to be hanging with us again, probably. Who knows? We'll bring her. We'll bring her out here again. So, can't wait to see you guys again. And stay tuned for next week's show. And Sazzy, have a great night. Talk to you soon.
Yes. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.